Alright, this time a pure acrobatic tutorial. I know some of you out there are really wishing for that. So here we go with the Macaco Switch, a beautiful movement that looks hard but is actually quite learnable. Prerequisites for this one is a kind of moderate macaco, even if it's quite low, and a basic forward arch. If you don't have them down just yet, simply make sure to go into the video description for a tutorial for each of these skills. And as always in my tutorials, if you don't manage to get the full skill, that's perfectly fine, because the road to the skill is filled with interesting variations. So simply follow along and see how far you get. And to make learning even more efficient and easy, I've created a completely free Macaco Switch guide with some extra videos. Go into the video description and download it for free. But before anything else, like always, we need to take care of warming up the body. And because the Macaco Switch is an arching move, we need to warm up the body in an arching manner. If your wrists are not prepared for acrobatics, make sure to give them some love before starting. They will carry a lot of our weight. Then we continue with the one arm bridge. Either hold it statically or perform dynamic reps from low to high, as you can see here. Macaco reaches or macaco hops are great as well. Just make sure to extend your hips fully in every single repetition. And lastly, you could even go for this double hop from one to the other side, because that's already part of the skill we're going for. Before we get into the breakdown of this movement, let's take a look what is actually needed so we can master it. So, like I said before, of course we need to have a basic macaco down, okay? It doesn't need to be that high, but it needs to be controlled. And the second thing is a basic forward arch. So knowing how to land with open hips without collapsing, so you can stand up nicely after the move. Then the most important aspect of this move is the switch on top of yourself. So you're starting with a low macaco, then you're twisting your hip mid-air in order to open it up. And of course there are some variations that are much easier than the full move, and exactly this is what we're learning first. Step number one, let's try to figure out how the pattern actually works. So I will squat down and I will first use my right arm as a macaco. I will reach backwards, and now I will open up my hips, start to crawl, place my second hand. Now comes the switching moment, with my hips to the other side and opening up again. So I'm really just walking around my hands in order to fake the pattern and understand where I want to go. Already here we can make the emphasis on this pulling arm. I pull it back and then immediately down into the floor. Next up, let's take the same idea of faking the Macaco Switch, but this time already with two hops. The first one with the macaco, and the second one from here into our landed position. Make sure that both of these movements are smooth and not crashing down. So if we are dealing with something like this, then learning the full move will be hard. So make sure to work on a very good quality. There is this nice phrase, quality is soundless. So try to land in a manner that doesn't produce any impact or loud sounds. Of course, it is quite tough, but after some time you will manage to get this one. And then we're ready to continue. It's getting quite warm, so I had to take my sweater and my socks off, but we continue with the next step. Now for this one, we want to practice how to jump and switch our hips mid-air. So a drill that I like to use is basically a stationary macaco, where we try to go up and over, land with both arms on the floor first, and only then land softly with the legs. In this drill, you can cheat a lot, and in this instance, cheating is fine. So instead of jumping directly into an arch, you can already turn open the macaco from the start. So it's like a small cartwheel from a macaco position. But as you progress, and if you want to really master the skill, you should also practice to do a macaco, really jump with both legs at the same time into this arched position and only then reach for the floor. It is much harder, but of course after some time you will manage. The cool thing with this drill is once you have figured out to do these macaco switches, we can directly do a baby version of the full macaco switch. So that means you want to jump up into your macaco switch. Once both arms are on the floor, instead of landing regularly like this, turn a little bit more and try to land in your final exiting position. When learning this one of the key aspects for me is managing to stay on top for a second so you can push with that second arm and create this nice open landing. Here, that second arm, that right arm now pushes so I can finalize the move in my open landing. So really make sure to make a jump that is not too low, otherwise you'll struggle quite a lot. Because I view this step as so important, let's stop for a moment. If you find yourself struggling with this version, then simply stop the video here and continue with the practice. Make sure that you can land in a very soft, squatting, arching form instead of crashing down. Make sure that you can turn nicely in the air. And only when this feels possible, come back for the next step. Okay, now things start to get very real with the macaco switch. By now you have learned how the coordination works. You have learned how to go upside down and switch direction and even land already in your exiting position. So now it's really just time to piece all of these puzzle pieces together. We actually want to go for a baby macaco switch. That means starting in your macaco position, this time going for the macaco switch, but instead of staying on the spot, already try to reach far with the second hand. Ideally, it is kind of like a cartwheel, so really all the way to the other side. If this is not possible for you at the moment, it's okay. Make sure to have at least 90 degrees of an angle, and with time, try to reach more and more until you can hit the full direction we want to go. To be very honest with you, I think the macaco switch is one of the skills that looks very tough, but in reality is actually quite okay. You don't need a full macaco. As you can see here, I'm opening up, so it's kind of like a micro cartwheel into the macaco switch. And I'm very certain that you can manage to do that. And on days where my back feels a little bit more stiff, I don't even stand up with open hips, but I collapse down, as you can see here, in a soft and easy manner. So you can decide, do you want to let it be a little bit more open or do you want to take it low? Up to you. Well, and this is already kind of it, the macaco switch. Of course, you can learn it in a couple of sessions, but then really to refine it and to master it, it's a different story. Usually it takes many months in order to really get the efficiency down, in order to get the lightness down and the relaxation while doing the move. But the beautiful thing is, once you can do this version, all of a sudden other versions start to appear. You can try to land it with one leg, you can try to add other moves that you have learned before. And that's usually the secret and the magic of acrobatics. It's an endless playground. And if you want to learn more, I can really recommend going for one of my online programs. Look, my first online program I've created in 2018. And since then, thousands of students have participated and benefited from them. So why not be one of them? There is single programs and there is bundles. You can simply decide what you want to go for. And as one of my YouTube viewers, simply use the code YouTube10 for a 10% discount. Oh, and if you just want to check it out, why not go for that free program? Thank you very much for checking out this tutorial. You will find many more tutorials on my channel, from acrobatics to more mobility-oriented training and everything in between. Simply check it out. Do not forget to subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more videos like this, and I see you in the next one. Happy moving.